Shalom, shalom. For I'll wait. For any brothers and sisters that join in, Babakusha, just let me know if the audio is coming clear, if you can hear me. So that way I won't, have to redo it if the audio is messed up. All right, water. All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, and I just I was here meditating. I was looking for a topic to go into. I was watching a few videos here and there, and then I kept thinking about this. I saw an article last night, which I was gonna do a video on. I didn't get to do it. So Lord's will, I'll do it soon. But it was on Zero Hedge. It was from Zero Hedge, and it mentioned the Biden administration considering using the National Guard. Okay, the Biden administration considering using the National Guard to deal with this shortage of food and this shortage of everything pretty much being backed up over there at the ports. Okay, which once again, like we've been saying, man, is just another push for the federalization of everything, and that's gonna bring about the authoritarian rule that pretty much a lot of people have been warning about. Whenever somebody warns about it, they call the person a conspiracy theorist. All right, Salakia, I'm gonna be looking around because I'm trying to get a spot. So,
bro, you have cables for like a boost?
Nah, I don't know me. Yeah, my fault, bro. So I'm gonna be looking around because I'm trying to get one. But Lord willing, the lesson will still go on. So, pretty much I saw that, and then that's what I thought of. That these devils gradually push. Like today, I saw an article, which I saw a breaking news notification, which said that the sea, right, the people, right, are recommending the the Plus Ultra booster, right? They're recommending it now. Now, when you look at it, they started off. These devils always start off knowing exactly what they want. Their goal is to sell it to the people that they don't know, and they're trying to arrive at a conclusion which will be best for the safety of everybody. That is what they always do. They have to sell that story to make it seem as though they're trying to arrive at a good conclusion, to benefit the people. But in essence, they already know. Last year when they started talking about lockdowns, and they mentioned 2 weeks, they knew that this wasn't going to be 2 weeks. They knew that it would take as long as it had to in order for them to accomplish the goal that they wanted to accomplish. However, they had to make it seem as though, well, we're all in this unprecedented situation, and so we're also looking for a solution. So let's try locking down for 2 weeks and see how things go at the end of that. But they already knew. Okay, and shalom to all you tuning in. Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatah. To spiritual food 144. I'm not an elder, bro. I'm just a brother. All right, I'm just a brother, just like you. I'm not an elder. Nevertheless, dealing with damn, the thought just escaped my mind, but Lord's will come back. Now, oh, right. So they said, let's try locking it down for 2 weeks, even though they knew exactly what they were doing. Now, as time goes on, these prophecies that we've been talking about are going to start being fulfilled on a mass scale, on a high level. And when those things start happening, the Lord is going to cleave, like he says, I believe it's in the book of Ezekiel. The Lord said he's going to cleave like he did to Ezekiel our tongues to the roof of our mouth, making you dumb. Like if you want, you know what I'm saying? You can't talk. All right. So in essence, what that represents is that we're not going to be able to reprove and warn and tell people and explain things because the prophecies are going to be speaking for themselves. As it says, and right now I'm just going to be quoting it for now. I'm going to be speaking scripturally. Okay. But as it says in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that though it tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come and it will not tarry. Okay. It will not tarry. So when these things come and they're not tarrying, guess what? Now everybody's going to be on their own. When the prophets are out here prophesying, that symbolizes the doors of mercy being open. Because how do you get a chance at salvation? You first have to hear the word. Romans 10 and 13. Okay? I believe it's Romans 10 and 13. Going into how shall they believe on whom they have not heard, and how shall they hear without a preacher? Okay? So the fact that the preachers and the teachers are out here is given an opportunity for people to hear the word. And when they hear the word, they can then believe and they can have a chance at gaining salvation. You see? So the fact that the Lord still has us out here is a sign of him having mercy. Now, when we're not speaking anymore, the doors of mercy are going to be closed and all hell is going to be breaking loose. But there's coming a point very soon, as you can see, when these devils take down your channel, strike a video, block you off of a platform, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, at the end of the day, authorized that. And right now, we're seeing it happen more and more often, especially with YouTube and a lot of these other platforms. And that's showing us that ultimately the Lord is getting ready to start taking away his word out of the circulation, out of easy access. When you read in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, I believe, it mentions, then shall wit hide itself and understanding withdraw itself into secret chambers. You see? And so when that time happens, and Sirach, I know it's super dark, you can't see me, but so long as you can hear me, that's what matters. And so wit hiding itself and understanding withdrawing itself into secret chambers, when you go to Proverbs, the 1st chapter, right around the 20th verse, it tells you that wisdom crieth without, and she uttereth her voice in the chief place of concourse, right? So she uttereth her voice in the chief place of concourse. So when wit starts hiding itself, which goes with wisdom, you ain't gonna have that the wisdom going out and being sent out, because how is wisdom being sent out? By the mouth of the prophets. All right. And so when the time of the Lord taking that away, when he says he's gonna withdraw wit, meaning we have the truth, we have the knowledge, we have the wisdom and the understanding, but when it's hidden, basically we're not gonna be speaking it out of our mouths. See, that's all Jake knows. Drive around playing loud ass music. But see, when all hell breaks loose and you haven't eaten in a couple of weeks, you're not gonna be thinking of wanting to play music. Okay? But when the Lord says he's gonna have it hide itself, meaning it's still gonna be here, because it's still gonna be with the elect. It's gonna be with those that took heed, those that gathered, those that listened and got the understanding, got the oil. Nevertheless, for everybody else, they're not gonna get access to it, because those people that have the oil are not gonna be selling it anymore. They're not gonna be giving it out anymore. So it's gonna be hidden. All right? Right now, everywhere you go, you can't hide. You cannot hide from this wisdom. But very soon, you're not gonna be able to find this wisdom, pursuant to Amos 8 and 11. So what does that mean for us, the teachers and the prophets? And what does that mean for you, the listeners and the sheep out there? Well, for the sheep, it means that you are supposed to make sure that you are learning and you're not putting off the Lord from day to day, which applies to all of us. All right. But you got to gather this wisdom. You got to gather this knowledge. You have to build up your faith. And you do that by watching these videos, praying, reading scriptures. You know why it's important to watch videos? Because when you watch the videos, you can understand the breakdown of the scriptures, so that when you read it, your faith and your spirit can get built up correctly, because you understand what you're reading. Okay? So your job is to listen, all right? It's to learn and it's to grow. Ultimately, it's to teach, okay? But we understand that not everybody's going to be a teacher and a prophet. Nevertheless, they're still going to be part of the elect, okay? Now, as for the prophets, as for the teachers, as for the men that have been given the talents and that have been given the portion to go out there and to teach the word of the Lord, your job now, or our job, is to go harder even now. John 9:4 says, I must work the works of him that sent me, all right, while it is day, for the night cometh when no man can work. So the time is coming very soon when we're not going to be able to be out here on the highways and byways. We're not going to be able to be doing these live streams, you know, and all these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. But the Lord is going to say, that's it. Time is up. Okay, no more. Close the book, close the show, close it all, you know. And if you haven't done enough, if you haven't done or brought back, see, the Lord knows how much he gave everybody. And when he shuts it all down, he's expecting something out of it. Now, when you do these videos, you don't see the full impact of it. But Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai sees the full impact of it. And he knows how powerful it is, or who is waking up, or how much money you're making in return for what he's given you. So he can track and he can determine and he can decide whether you have done enough or whether you haven't. Now, we don't know what he's, how he's measuring it or how he's tracking it. So what does that mean? That means that as we are getting closer to the time when we're not going to be able to speak anymore, when the ministry, you realize when this ministry comes to an end, that's it. That's it. That's it. No more prophesying, because the destruction comes and then the kingdom comes, and we're not going to be prophesying in the kingdom. You ain't going to be having us prophesying in the kingdom, hey, this is there, this is this. No, because the prophecies are going to have been fulfilled. Okay? You're not going to be having new prophecies in the kingdom. So when this ministry ends, that's it. And whatever, side you end on is going to be your record. Okay? That's going to be what follows you, whether it's good works unto salvation, or it's slothful works or no works at all unto destruction. Okay? So Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai knows all this, and he is requiring something from all of us. And now it's like you're taking a test and the professor says 5 minutes left, or better yet, the professor says time is almost up. And you don't know how much time, you just know time is almost up. What you gonna do? You're gonna start going faster, trying to answer as much questions as you can. And just like the brother said, this is the final exam. This is where the Lord is gonna put to test everything. And I'll say this, man, whether you're a prophet, a teacher, or a listener and a believer, when this test comes, as Apostle Tohai has been saying, everybody's going to be tested. All right? Everybody's going to be tested. Whether you taught this word or you listened, you are going to be tested. You are going to be in Jacob's trouble. Everybody's faith we all going to be on that level playing field. Okay? Where if there's a food scarcity, or the Lord is putting you through these tribulations and allowing you to catch more hell through the Jacob's trouble, we all gonna be in it. Whether you're a prophet or a teacher or not, we all gonna be in it. We all gonna be here when all hell is breaking loose, and we're all gonna have to step up to the plate. Okay, we're all gonna have to show the Lord, well, all the time, whether it was teaching or whether it was listening, this is what I gained from it. This is what you have to show. Remember that Jacob's trouble is not going to be to destroy the elect, but it's going to test. All right. It's going to put what you know, what you've gathered, what you've believed, how well you built up your faith, and how well you used this time the Lord gave you. Jacob's trouble is going to put all that to test. And if you were truly sincere in this time, then you'll make it in that time. But if you weren't in this time, then you won't make it in that time. Because the Lord got, the final exam, that's how you weed out those that are going to make it and those that are not. And that's why it says in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, around the 73rd verse or so, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So what is that trying? That's that ultimate test, where we're not speaking these things, but we're actually having to exhibit these things. We're actually having to live these things. Okay, we're actually having to put ourselves in the position of where our words used to be, saying that, hey, even if they got your family hostage, or they got you in a camp, in a concentration camp, and they're threatening you, you have to keep the faith. We speak on Revelation 2 and 10. Okay? So all of these things, now you're going to be in it, and now you have to show the Lord not by word, but by deed, but by action. All right? It's one thing to have faith that moves you to go out there and speak, but it's another thing to have faith that moves you to give up your life for the Lord. It's another thing to have faith that moves you to stand up for the Lord when everybody else is against you. You know, when you're scared as hell, when you don't know if your family is good or not, when things are going, all hell's breaking loose on every side, when it seems like it's easier to just give in. See, that is when your faith is truly tested, man. And that's what the Lord said he's going to do. He's going to try it. He's going to try each and every one of us. And we hope and pray that when that time comes, we will be prepared enough to be able to survive that trial. All right? Because it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be doable, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. That's why now is very crucial. Because listen, man, being able to come home and go home, wherever it is at, we get that now, but in that time, it ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You might not have that opportunity to be able to say, I'm going home. Because if you have to, let's say, flee or escape from your house, then there is no more home. And that's why in 2nd Esdras, it mentions being as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay? So I'm going to read this real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So all the world, meaning everybody on the planet, is going to be tested. But only a certain few are going to stand firm and not give in. And that's going to be the elect. And that's going to be by way of the Spirit that Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua is going to put on the elect. All right. Salaki, let me see. Yep. This is the brother Chakam Banyamyan, Matthew 21 and 21. Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. And that Yahushua wasn't kidding when he said that. You know, he wasn't joking around. He was being deadly serious. Okay? And he said what? Doubt not. Don't let those thoughts come into your mind of what if it doesn't work? What happens if this doesn't? Those things are going to kill your faith. Your faith is focusing on seeing it already working, you know, believing that it's right around the corner. That is your faith, the positive mindset in the spirit. When you start to ask questions to the point where you're doubting, you're killing that faith because you're trying to carnally reason why your faith should make sense, why your faith should work, right? For example, you got when Peter was walking on water, when he took those steps before he started drowning, you start thinking, well, oh, I'm walking on water. Yeah, first you say the Lord says come, and then you walk and you're walking and you know that you're walking on water, it's working. But then you're like, okay, how am I walking on water? How is this working? This should not be possible. And then what? Your focus shifts from I'm walking on water, keep doing it, Yahushua is right there, to now, oh shoot, what if I sink? Because I don't understand how I'm walking on water. And if I don't understand it, how am I going to keep on walking on the water? And if I can't keep on walking on the water, then how am I going to stay afloat? What happens if I sink? This water is deep. You know, I got it. And then you start to sink because you're worried about a million other things. You have in doubt. Okay. And that doubt is sprouting in all different directions inside your head. When some things you just don't even worry about it. Just believe it. You know, I'm walking on water because I can walk on water through faith. That's it. You know, you don't have to break the mechanics down of, well, when you walk on the earth, you have the force of the ground that's pushing up against your feet coming down. And so it's holding you up. But the water doesn't have that. So when you step on it, it really goes down, but you don't got to worry about that. Well, if I could walk on water because the Lord said so, and I have faith that I can do it, then that's it. That's the end of the story. How did you walk on water? Well, I had faith that I could do it, so I did it. All right. So that's why the scripture said, not doubting. Okay, you don't want to doubt in this truth, especially now. Hey, it's gonna be difficult because when your life depends on it, trust me, you're gonna be having those thoughts of, Lord, if you don't come through, we're so done. We're so done. It's not even funny, you know. But you have to just believe that He will come through. You have to just start visualizing and imagining what it's gonna look like when the Lord comes through. You know, when He delivers you, instead of worrying about whether He is or not and how much you depend on Him delivering you. Worry about Him actually doing it. Okay. This is Chacham Banyamyan, Romans 11:4. But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, who shall not bow, or who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Those what if thoughts. Yeah, hey, that's beautiful. You know, you got to conquer those what if thoughts, because those what if thoughts don't exist. They're just thoughts. All right. What if I walk down the street and the store is closed? Well, is it actually closed? No, you don't know that. What if? Okay, well, what if you get there and it's not closed? You know, it's the what ifs, man. Well, what if I get there and it's closed? Well, because of that what if, I'm not even gonna step out in the first place. But if you come to find out that somebody else went and it was open, but because you were so worried about what if, which didn't exist, it was just a thought, you know, you ended up not going and you ended up missing out on whatever you missed out on. Nevertheless, as we just read in Romans, the Lord said that He has reserved unto Himself. So He has selected and chosen certain individuals that no matter what, they're not going to break. They're not going to bow down. That's the elect. Okay. The elect are not going to be made in Jacob's trouble. The elect are going to be known in Jacob's trouble. All right. Because the elect are not going to give in. It's not that, oh, if I don't give in, then I become a part of the elect. No, if you don't give in, then we see that you were always of the elect, because only the elect are not going to give in. And like I said in the beginning, as this ministry starts to dwindle, you know, think of it like a sink, right, with or a tap, where the water's coming out from the faucet, and now the Lord is starting to close it. And as you close it, the pressure gets less and less and less, to the point where you close it completely, but then you still have a few drops, you know, that are dropping down from the faucet, and then eventually it just completely stops, and then there's nothing coming out, because this word is likened onto what? Living waters. Okay, and we are the vessels which the Lord has these living waters coming out of. But very soon what He's gonna do is He's gonna turn off that tap, and the waters are not going to come out anymore. And then it's going to be, well, what are you made of? Okay, how serious were you taking this thing? And then you're going to wish that you got rebuked. You want to wish that all it took was somebody to yell at you and then you could fix it. In Jacob's trouble, it's not going to be like that. I did a video yesterday that it's going to be raw. All right, it's going to be raw, no chill. Because ain't nobody going to tell the Most High to chill. This is Romans 10:17, the Brother True Awakening 777. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. All right. And that's why our job is so important, because how did we wake up to the truth? We woke up to the truth because you had certain men that took this labor seriously, and they went out and taught. And through their labors, we have heard this word and come into this word. And so we have to do the same for the rest that need to hear it, right? That's why the Lord set us up to speak, to call, you know, to push His word. And in turn, as you hear more and more of this, guess what? You build that faith. Yeah, I'm all right, brother. I'm good. You know, in turn, you build that faith because you're hearing this word. You're reading about the things the Lord has done. And then, as it says in Revelation 3:20, the Lord said that He knocks at the door. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man open unto me, I will come in unto him and sup with him. So then the Lord starts to sup with you, and then you start to see and experience His working in your actual life. You know, when you're praying and your prayers are getting answered, You know, when you're going through certain situations and you just call upon the Lord and then boom, he just comes in for you. You know, these are all part of building your faith. Salaki, give me 1 second. All right, Salaki. So these are all a part of building your faith. You know, and you do it so often, it gets to the point where when you're in trouble or something comes up, you're not afraid. Because you think back to the previous time when you prayed for something and the Lord answered it. And he delivered you and you were good, you know? And you're like, well, if he did it then I believe that he'll do it now. You know, so you're calm, you're not panicking, you're not losing your mind, you're not thinking, what if? You know? Because if the Lord ain't want to deliver you, he would have left your ass to be done the first time. Okay, but clearly he delivered you then. So you have to have faith and believe that he'll do it again now. You know, like I said, I'm just going off the spirit right now. So, you know, whatever precepts come up, that's what I'm going to go with. All right, this is, brother's putting some good precepts here. Yep, this is Adam Nana, Luke 22:28. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations. Hey, that's a spirit. The in the Akan language, you know, that we speak in Ghana, the word Nana, that's my name, but it means king. Nana is how you say it, but it means king. You know, when you said that, I mean, when I saw your name, I just remembered that. You know, nevertheless, it says, but ye are they, Luke 22:28, ye are they which continued, which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom as my Father hath appointed unto me. And who is the Lord going to appoint that kingdom onto? He's not just going to give it to anybody. He's going to give it to those that are worthy, those that have done what he asked them to do with his talents, right? Well done, my good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over 5 cities, I'm going to give you 10. You know, or thou hast been faithful over a little, I will give you many. So right now, this ministry is also showing the Lord who is capable of doing his work. You know, who is capable of pushing his word. Okay? Let's see. This is Chacham Banyamyan. Sirach 2 verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You hear that? So, as the scriptures say, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. The time is coming when the Lord is going to start to see what everybody's end is. Okay, how are you going to finish? You may have started strong. You may have continued strong, but how are you going to finish? Because as this ministry comes to an end, and you see the final countdown, you know, you see the finish line, you're seeing all of that. How are you going to finish? Are you going to sprint? You know, are you gonna do what you gotta do? Are you gonna get in the spirit and put in all that work to make your calling and election sure? Okay? Or are you gonna slow down and say, I see the finish line, but I'm so tired, and then pass out? You know, and then you pass out right before you cross that line. You know, so you gotta really put that in your mind that whatever may have been distracting you, you have to put that to the side and give your all to this word. Give your all to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. As the scriptures say, continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Okay, continue in these things. And as we get to the end, you have to step it up. You have to amplify it. You know, you can't just stay in the same position. All right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is looking for those that are willing to go all out. So you got to ask yourself, are you willing to go all out for the Lord? Okay, you may be doing something now, but can you do more? How can you incorporate one more video a day? Can you incorporate one more extra hour of studying a day? You know, can you, how can you assess your time now? What can you cut to provide more time for the ministry, to provide more time for the Lord, whether it's studying or watching videos or doing videos, whatever it is, you got to assess your life and see, well, right now with the way my life is, can I do more? You know, do I have to cut a bit more of my free time to put it into this? You know, and little by little, okay, little by little, you'll start to build a habit, and you'll start to realize, yo, you know, I used to do 1 video a day, but now I could do 2. All right, because I made a habit out of it. So now whenever it hits a certain time, or whenever I get to a certain point, you know, that's naturally what I do, you know. And you build good habits, because not all habits are bad. You can build and form good habits that'll benefit you in the long run. Okay? And that's very essential in these times. You have to show the Lord, why are you an asset to his work? And if the Lord sees that you're an asset to his work, then he will bless you and reward you, and he will keep you. All right? As Apostle Tahar mentioned, we're serving the King of the universe. There's certain kings of the earth, of certain areas, where you mess up in one thing, you mess up in an order or something that they do, and that's off with your head. They're taking your head off because you may have poured too much wine, or you spilled the wine, and next thing you know, you get your fingers chopped off. So how much more for when Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the King of the universe, asks you to work or do something for him? You know, he expects you to give it your all. Because if you were, let's say, a cupbearer for one of these ancient kings, you would be on your P's and Q's, especially them brutal, harsh kings, you know, them Sennacheribs and all of that. You would have been on your P's and Q's, because you know that, man, if you mess up, this dude's he's gonna chop your head off. You know, he's gonna throw you in a dungeon like Pharaoh did. So you'd be on top of your game. So, well, you got to think the same thing, and even have that much more fear for the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, let's go to, see, the scriptures talk about serving the Lord, seeking out your soul salvation, your own salvation, but serving the Lord with fear and trembling, you know, meaning you're afraid to mess up with the word of the Lord. You're afraid to do anything less of satisfactory for the work of the Lord. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. Why is it a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God? Because the Most High can, whatever you can imagine, the Most High can do a million or infinite times worse to you. All right? And if the Most High is against you, who can be for you? And if the Most High is for you, who can be against you? You see? So, as it says, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, and the Lord has already let it be known that if you don't do his work, you're gonna fall into his hands. He's gonna destroy you with a brutal, gruesome destruction. All right, as a matter of fact, let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, all right, those of us that know that we're Israelites, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? You hear that? So judgment is coming, and it's gonna start here. The Lord is gonna inspect. He's gonna have an inquisition by way of his angels. They're gonna pull up everybody's record, and he's gonna look at it and say, okay, who's been doing what, and how well have they been doing it, and should they get salvation or should they be destroyed? All right. And at that point, when bodies are dropping, people are getting put to death next to you, you're gonna be afraid. And you're gonna be thinking of every video you've done, every work you've done, every opportunity you had to do the work, and you're gonna be hoping that it was enough. You're gonna be hoping that, shit, I hope I didn't come one video short. I hope that one time that I knew I could have done a video, but I didn't do it because, I wanted to watch a movie, or I fell asleep, or I ate and then I got distracted. You're gonna hope that the Lord isn't looking at that time when he brings that judgment. Because when judgment starts going out, everything gets 100% serious. You know, when life starts getting taken out and people's lights get snuffed out and people start dying, everything starts getting taken seriously. You know, and then everybody's afraid, and everybody's looking to save themselves, and everybody's thinking, I hope my works were enough for the Lord to have mercy upon me. Okay, so you want to at least in that moment be able to have the thought that, you know what, at least I did the best that I could. You know, I couldn't, we're all men, but you did the best that you could do. You didn't hold back. You know, you didn't slack off. You took what the Lord gave you and you did the best that you could do. All right. That's how you want to end off the ministry, doing the best that you can do. All right. So back to Hebrews chapter 10. We're gonna go to verse 38. It says, "Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him." All right. So if any man draw back, the Lord said his soul is not going to have pleasure in you. And the time is coming when you need to declare, all right, what it is that you're standing for. What side are you on? Esau's coming with it, and the Most High is allowing him to do it to make it very clear that you need to make a choice and you need to make a stand. All right. Whose side are you on? Who are you fighting for? And we're not those that draw back onto perdition. We're not going to keep our sword from blood, metaphorically speaking, now and get destroyed. No, we're going to do whatever exactly the Lord tells us to do. Exactly as he says we should do it. All right. So, let me see what brothers got on here. Yep, this is the brother Malchiah 144, Luke 1 and 37. For with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, nothing shall be impossible. All right, and you actually have to believe that. You actually have to believe that with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, nothing is going to be impossible. There's going to be nothing that we cannot do. Because if you put limitations on the work of the Lord, you'll end up having fear instead of faith. You end up having doubt instead of a solid belief. You know, because you'll start thinking, well, how's the Lord going to get us out of this? Instead of realizing that it doesn't matter what it looks like, the Lord is going to get us out of it. That is how he shows his power. That is how he gets glorified and magnified. You know, he puts you in a position where you're like, oh my gosh. And then he delivers you. And then you're like, oh my gosh. You know, this is True Awakening 777, 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. The key word there is what? Always abounding. Not staying the same, but abounding. Okay? Meaning increasing. Becoming more, more and more in the work of the Lord. All right? It says, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And we always have to keep that in mind, that we're not doing this for nothing. All right? The Lord is going to reward us for doing this work and remaining diligent in it. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the King of the universe, has a reward for each and every one of us if we be of the elect and if we serve him to his liking. So keep that in mind. And as we near this finish line, and as these devils come with the propaganda and the madness and this, that, and the third, stay strong. Finish strong. Push out, push the best you can. All right? Don't end off cold. Don't end off lukewarm. End off hot. End off hot. Coming in hot, but end off hot, man, because that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is looking for. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to end it here. Salaki, I wasn't able to really pull precepts, as much because I hadn't planned, this lesson, to go into it. But Lord willing, it was still edifying unto the elect and exhorting unto the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.